Someone asked me to quickly explain how do we change? Why do we revert to certain behaviors once we've made a decision to change? Well, you gotta understand the brain and the mind are two separate things. They are not the same. This is a diagram, sort of. This is the brain. This is the mind. We are not the brain. We are the mind. We're not the brain. We are the mind. And what is the mind? The mind is the patterns, right? What we do consistently is the pattern that makes us us. I, for example, love to play soccer. I play soccer. I eat a lot. I do this. So our patterns go in circle, right? But how we make decisions, who we are, resides here, inside the brain. But this side of the brain, we know it as the subconscious mind. It's the subconscious part of the brain that we can't access. Right, this little line here. This is consciousness. Consciousness observes the mind. It doesn't observe the brain, right? That's why we call it the subconscious. It's not within the conscious, right? It's subconscious. And this is where we live. This is where change needs to happen. People say we are what we think. We are not our thoughts. Our thoughts are just mere tools that we use, right? So you can't just think yourself. You can think of changing, but you don't change. They say it's you versus you. It's not you versus you. It's the potential that you have, you can be, versus what you actually are. All right? The brain is only the brain is only designed for one thing and one thing only: biology, survival. All right? The brain only cares about surviving. It doesn't care about you, right? You as in the self, the observer. It doesn't care about that because before the self even appeared, before conscious even appeared, the brain had found one function: survive in this unpredictable reality it has found itself in. How do I survive in this reality, which is, I guess, our life? How do I survive in this reality that I found myself in? Change and predictability. Anything that we do, the brain repeats, right? Because we have deemed that thing to be safe, right? That's all the brain cares about: safety and survival. So we live in a constant pattern because the brain already knows that pattern, and that pattern is not dangerous. What is dangerous to the brain? The unknown. The unknown is dangerous to the brain. So the brain would not want to change from what you currently are into what you want to be, which is the unknown. The unknown is dangerous, right? That's how the brain thinks. The unknown is dangerous. What's safe is what I've always known. So if you're a smoker, although that's bad for you, it's bad for the self, the brain doesn't care because that's a predictable pattern you've always done. It's not bad to it because you're used to it. You've done it. So what you are your patterns. What you do consistently is what makes you you. You think you're making decisions, but you're not making decisions. Neuroscience has proven that, right? Action is not the cause. Action is already the effect. The cause already happened. When you do this, you think you decide to do this, but no, the decision has already been made in your subconscious. Neuroscience proves that. The subconscious mind controls everything. You live your current patterns over and over and over again. You are not making any new decisions. What you're doing is just living over your own patterns. That's why we say some people are NPCs. You have to make decisions, but you don't change it by free will or overpowering it. You can't. Your subconscious is too strong for that. What you can do is repetition. Environment controls behavior. Your environment controls how you behave. You can't change your behavior unless you change your environment. You change your environment, it changes your behavior, and then repetition. You repeat that same behavior and it becomes part of the loop that goes into the subconscious. Now you're not someone that smokes, you're someone that wakes up and take a cold shower, it's going to be hard at first because the subconscious does not like that. That is a new thing. That is a dangerous thing because it's new. It's not part of your previous patterns. So it becomes harder to do. You don't want to wake up and take cold showers. You want to go back to your pattern, what you're used to. But once you break that pattern and you make taking cold shower a repetition, your subconscious changes. The brain now knows, okay, this is safe to do. This is the new pattern. So you become a new person. Now taking cold showers is just something you do. It becomes automatic. That is how real change happens. I hope that makes sense.